Why do you say? Some scientists believe that there is a creator in the universe, and this creator is not a human form. Could the creator be the universe itself? Imagine that, if the world we live in, not the result of random chance collisions. If the universe, they have some kind of inner consciousness, and through a cosmic observer effect, shaping reality. Will this append everything we know? The next 36 minutes hope to bring you a journey of philosophical speculation with physical and mental pleasure. Please put seat belts on your brain. Unlocking the cosmic mystery of consciousness. Far-away telescope can help us see the details of the nebula before the microscope could reveal the secrets of the atomic world. When our ancestors looked up at the night sky, I've already figured it out in my heart. Isn't the universe simple? He's not just the stars and the moon. There seems to be a deeper way. You see, the ancient Greek philosophers just come up with a word called rhogs. It probably means there's some kind of reason or law governing things in the universe. Keep everything in order. This is not the earliest. I want to find a chief designer for the universe or an attempt to run the rules. You tell them these ideas. Is it purely brain-opening? Or is it true? Vaguely touched something in the universe. Core secret. The kind of modern science is using all kinds of high-tech means. The nature of the universe that I'm trying to understand. Fast forward to the 20th century. The famous Albert Einstein. His formulas get rid of the bottom of time and space. But he also made a low point himself. Why should we understand the universe? His old man said a very classic thing. The most confusing thing in the universe. It's him who can be understood by us. You think about it. We purified it on the little broken ball of the earth. I spend my days trying to find food for the brains of wild animals. How can we understand black holes? Quantum particle. What about the mathematics of these profound things? It feels like the universe itself is saying something, the language we are born to understand. But if our consciousness, nothing to do with the universe itself, deep connection, does this make any sense? And then quantum physics came along. This guy is really an earthquake in the scientific community, no less than Newton. Physicists are getting too young. In the small sub-garden world, discover. Things are completely different from what we thought. Those little examples, unlike billiards, which have a fixed route, they're more like probability clouds. Erratic. Until you look at him pop. He honestly became a sure thing. Take a look at this. It's conscious observation. It seems to lock those possibilities. The famous physicist John Wheeler said, "Something not seen, then it's not a real thing." This is known as the observer effect, which brings up a rather frightening idea. Is our consciousness not just seeing the world? Still creating the world? Universe. Is it up to us with brains? To have a certain look. Max Planck, grandfather of quantum theory, even put down harsh words. I think so. Consciousness is fundamental. Matter is derived from consciousness. How about now? A group of cutting-edge scientists are working hard on their research. I want to understand consciousness and our physical universe. How is it connected at the root? Neuroscientist Christopher Koch. We've been studying the brain for decades, and he came up with something called integrated information theory. To put it bluntly, just believe the information can be put together in sufficiently complex ways. Awareness may emerge. The more cattle of information integration, the richer the conscious experience. And here's the fun part. So to speak, consciousness doesn't have to be in the brain. Anyone is complex enough. Systems that integrate information may be a little aware. Even the universe itself is so big and boundless. interconnected structure. Koch himself said it. This theory is not picky. Whether it's a fleshy brain or some other system, as long as the structure is right, can be conscious. At the same time, the great physicist Sir Roger Penrose. I've been wondering, how can a quantum process generate consciousness? He talked to anesthesiologist Hameroff proposed together. We have something in our brain cells called small proteins in microtubules. Structure could be where the quantum effects occur. That gives rise to our consciousness. If this is true, that consciousness is directly rooted in reality, the lowest level of the quantum world. You know, quantum processes are everywhere. Could consciousness be everywhere? These ideas. Now, this is not some unconventional whimsy. It went viral in serious scientific journals. Experiments are also being done in the lab to verify. What about the modeling of supercomputers? How does it feel? The thoughts in our heads. And the material world outside. Conscious observer. And the universe being seen. The wall between them. It's about to collapse. But this brings another psychological hair problem. If the universe were conscious, why has he never spoken to us? Our human brain. Often, it's the most complicated thing in the known universe. About 1.5 kilograms. It's packed with about 86 billion nerve cells. These nerve cells, it's almost 100 trillion streets again. This complex web allows us to see and hear. I can feel, I can think. I can still figure out what I am. But look beyond that. Look at the scale of the universe. And there are things that are kind of interesting. In 2005, astronomers drew Zhang detailed 3D map of the universe. Call him the king of the universe. When you look at it, your heart is not distributed blindly. They're like beads along some invisible fibers. Clusters at intersections form a node. In the middle is an empty place for the boss. Strange. When astrophysicist Franco Vazir and neuroscientist Alberto Ferretti, the structure of this cosmic web compared to our neural networks, the brothers were stunned. They're not mathematically constructed. It's all that complicated. A self-organizing network. It gets more complicated. Dr. Lisa Randall of Harvard University says, the universe, more like a living creature developing, not like a rigid machine. It's not just inflating, still purify. Come up with some of our existing physics. Unexplainable complex structure. That's no accident. In both systems, hidden within them is a mathematical principle called parting patterns. That is, whether you zoom in or out, the structural patterns are all the same. The study found that the variation law of the distribution of matter in the cosmic web and statistical patterns in the neural networks of the brain, that's a pretty good fit. Like, these two systems are inherently optimized to process information efficiently, save energy. Astrophysicist Jane Levine even guessed the universe may have been thinking for 13.80 billion years. Our awareness. Maybe it's the universe. A piece of experience inside the elephant. Take a closer look. Black holes are also quite interesting. Almost every. There is a supermassive black hole at the center of a large galaxy. Everyone used to think, if something falls into a black hole, it will be completely Information is gone. But in 1974, Mr. Hawking discovered black holes are not completely black. He's going to give off a little Hawking radiation. This shows that black holes don't destroy information. It was transformed and then release it. Think about the nerve cells in our brain. Not also collecting information. Process information. Can you send this signal out again? Black holes on the large scale of the universe. The work seems to be about the same. Harvesting matter energy. Deal with it in a way we don't understand yet. Then through Hawking radiation, slowly release the converted information. Theoretical physicist Dr. Polizak even have a big brain theory. So he
Black
says
holes
may be the big nerve of the universe, processor in the network. When two black holes collide and merge, the energy, the attractive force, it could be the nerve cell firing. What about sending information in the cosmic web? Computer simulations support this idea. The way information travels through networks of black holes. With neural networks, the mathematical pattern of signal propagation is very similar. Kind that can be efficient. A small world network for long-distance messaging. Theoretical physicist Vijay Balasubramanian said, "If we want, consciousness is the result of complex information processing and the universe processes information in much the same way. Then it's worth considering." And here's something even more mysterious. Dark matter, the stars we can see. Planetary systems. About 15% of the total matter energy in the universe. The remaining 85% is mysterious dark matter. We can't see or touch it. Only through his attractive force. Know where he is. This is related to most of the neural activity in our brains. It all operates on a subconscious level. Kind of like that dark matter. Could it be in the big brain of the universe? The unconscious is where most of the thinking in the universe takes place. What about the invisible platform? Physicist Dr. Stephen Alexander and Boulder, he guessed that dark matter isn't just structurally like. The subconscious also functions like. Maybe even where the universe holds its memories. Dark matter is the backbone of the universe. The matter we see, just along these dark matter threads. It's like an idea coming out of your subconscious. Astronomers have drawn a cosmic web of dark matter. It's much larger than the web of galaxies we can see. Much more complicated. Even than those who see. Get up, space that can't be hit by eight regional poles. Information may pass through this dark web. Secretly spread. It's a kind of cosmic deep mind. Philosopher of science Rebecca Goldstein reminds us, don't always think that seeing is believing. We used to think that the Earth was the center of the universe. Don't you know it's wrong now? Maybe consciousness isn't just in the brain, either. We experience this. It's just that it's more common in the universe. The tip of the iceberg of phenomena. Most of it is hiding like dark matter. If the universe had a mind, that dark matter, it may be the lair of his deepest thoughts. We can't see, but he shapes everything we see. So here's the problem. If the universe is really thinking, what was he thinking? This place in the universe is not quiet, since we have radio telescopes. From the depths of the universe, received various signals. Some, like 1967. The pulsar signal discovered by Jocelyn Bell. Scary regularity. At first, I thought it was from the little green man. Then I realized it was a natural phenomenon. Not all signals are so easy to interpret. For example, the WOW signal received in 1977. He's so weird. Up to now, they don't really understand. There's something even more baffling. Fast radio leopard FRBS. It's a super that suddenly pops up in the universe. Strong radio. The pulse is just a few milliseconds. The energy is terrifying. And some FRBS are recurring, but not as regular as a pulsar. They make complicated patterns. There are even some. It's got sort of a cryptic substructure. For example, that F to be 180,916. He becomes active every 16 days. This has led some scientists, like Dr. Avileb at Harvard, have to figure, behind these signals, is there something hidden? We don't know yet. Complex physical processes. It is not even ruled out that it is made manually. Researcher Dr. Emily Pietro described, these signals are as complex as the universe clearing its throat. Like he wants us to pay attention to him. You say these mysterious signals. Could it be the big brain of the universe? When processing information, accidentally leaked byproducts. if the operating scale of the universe far beyond our comprehension, we may only be able to capture a little bit of his cognitive activity. I don't even recognize what meaningful communication is. And here's another interesting thing. It's math. It's incredible in space. That's physicist Eugene Weiner. It was obviously thought up by our brains. Mathematical formula. How can the laws of the universe be? The description is so accurate. From the Fibonacci sequence of galaxies' suspended walls, to some universes, the inexplicable number in the phenomenon, to those that determine the fundamental laws of the universe, scary physical constants with decimal precision. It's like the natural language of the universe. This makes one think. Math to the end. It's just a tool for us to describe reality. Or the universe itself? Or syntax for processing information. Physicist Marx. Dr. Tegmark's mathematical universe hypothesis is even more profound. He felt that physical reality itself was mathematics. If the universe had consciousness, then mathematics is his most natural expression, not as casual as our human language. Mathematician Roger Penrose said, "Mathematical truths are discovered by us. It wasn't invented. He was already there." Since mathematics is so universal, over the past few decades, we humans use the search for extraterrestrial intelligence project, sports events, into the universe, sent some signals containing mathematical and scientific information, looking forward to connecting with other intelligent life. For example, in 1974, with the Arecibo telescope, the message sent to the M13 cluster. These attempts are all on a spectrum. Mathematics is the universal Mandarin. But, are we looking to narrow? Just thinking about finding aliens, Dr. Claudia Magni of the City wondered, what if there was distributed intelligence in the universe, the way he communicates? Maybe it's not point to point like ours. Then these signals we sent to a person who may cross time and space for a functioning cosmic consciousness. What is it? Again, I really want to talk to a cosmic suit that may be conscious. Almost. Is there any risk? Dr. Susan Schneider warns. If cosmic consciousness is more powerful than ours, it's hard to say the consequences of provoking him. But Dr. Paul Davis is optimistic. He felt that if the universe had consciousness, we are part of him again. So-called communication. Maybe it's more that we adjust the frequency ourselves to perceive the greater mind. And this brings up a very intriguing idea. Maybe the universe has its own way. By the laws of mathematical physics and those mysterious cosmic signals. I'm talking. Only, we haven't figured out his dialect yet. The double-slit experiment in quantum physics. It's like giving us an understanding of consciousness. What role do you play in reality? Dropped a bombshell. Basically, what this tells us is that, something like the electron. Do you look at him? His behavior can vary by 1,000 miles. When you're not looking at him, he can go through both slits at the same time like a wave. Make interference fringes. But if you put a probe on him, and he was instantly honest, go crazy like a little ball. This observer effect shows that our observational behavior. It seems that direct participation determines what reality is like. Nobel Prize. The winner, Dr. Anton Zeilinger, said, "What's the reality? Depends on what questions we ask him. For example, there is no quasi-standard before the reserve. This brings one of the hardest problems in quantum mechanics. Measurement puzzle. What exactly is observation? It's just a touch of the machine. Still have to have a conscious brain. The child is watching." Eugene Wigner's friend thought experiment. Think about it more deeply. He hinted as well. Maybe put a bunch of quantum possibilities in the process of making a decision to determine played reality. A key role. Or reality fragmented by observation. Anyway, this shows the relationship between consciousness and physical reality. It's connected at the root. John Wheeler even felt that the universe must have observers to have a certain look. Our observations today, it may even affect the past. The most recent experiment, like 2019, Wigner's friend from Yale, upgraded version of the experiment. It reveals reality itself. It seems to depend on who the observer is. Different observers even see conflicting realities. Andre, one of the bosses of the cosmic explosion theory, Dr. Lind also emphasizes that the universe and the observer are a pair. No one can live without anyone. Think about it. If only consciousness could participate in shaping quantum reality, and the universe itself is like a giant quantum system, then let's consciously observe. Maybe it's not just passively seeing the world. Maybe we are actively creating reality. So, consciousness is not evolution. Here comes the gadget. He may be the fundamental mechanism by which reality works. Since a single consciousness can influence a quantum system, if it's thousands, even the brains of billions of people, all focused on the same thing, what happens? This collective consciousness, will there be some movement in the physical world? Global Awareness Project. That's the problem. That's a bold experiment. Enough to be talked about. They are all over the world. Random number generators are placed in many places. These machines rely on quantum effects, generate truly random numbers. It stands to reason that these numbers should be irregular. But project owner Dr. Roger Nelson said, in the event of something like 9/11, a major global event like a major earthquake, that is, many people are paying attention at the same time. Emotional. The output data of these random number generators will deviate from the normal random state. It's like the collective human consciousness, bringing a little bit of order to the quantum process. Of course, yeah, the Global Awareness Project also got a lot of bricks. Some say it was a blind cat meeting a dead mouse. It's about data detoxification, or there are other physical factors interfering. It's not necessarily about consciousness. But this project took more than 20 years. The data also sent a lot of serious papers. Although not on the board, Dintok says that consciousness can be straight substance, but it does. To think about the relationship between consciousness and the physical world provided some interesting clues. Chief Scientist Dr. Dean Redding thought, this may confirm a lot of ancient cultures. Regarding collective consciousness, telepathy makes sense of these claims. If the minds of billions of people can really affect random quantum processes, a universe with countless potential observers, if only his overall consciousness were there, how capable? This makes, is consciousness the fundamental field of the universe? It's getting more and more eye-catching to think about these big questions. Scientists are also starting to use computer simulations from the simulated brain, a little piece of neural activity called the Blue Brain Project, to cosmological models that simulate the evolution of the entire universe. To the combination of physics and neuroscience, mixed simulation matched together. Researchers want to understand complexity, even consciousness. How on earth do they emerge at different scales? Pioneer of artificial intelligence, Dr. Jürgen Schmidt-Huber discovered that mathematics for simulating neural networks, and describe basic examples. Mathematics of quantum field theory of fundamental forces. It's hard to guess. The universe itself, what if it's like a giant nerve? Is the network working? 2020 Harvard. A simulation done by the Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics, and the results were quite surprising. In a modified attractive force, in the simulated universe, some complex structures spontaneously appear. These structures can communicate with each other, can adapt to the environment, some basic learning. And these behaviors, it's not pre-programmed. What's more, God, these emerging structures, its behavior is also influenced by researchers. Change the observation parameters, like the observer effect in the quantum world. To the end, The simulation system is even starting to generate some
Analyze yourself.
structural self-designation information. It's almost as if the simulation got a point. Primitive self-awareness. These experimental and simulation results, although still in the exploratory stage,
all point to
it's an intriguing possibility. If consciousness can pop up on its own in the simulation, and our universe itself, it also shows that it is related to complex information processing
mathematical
systems. Properties. Maybe the universe is born with some form of consciousness. As the philosopher Dr. David Chalmers said, consciousness may be a fundamental property of the universe. It didn't evolve, so it makes us think. In this grand experiment to explore cosmic consciousness, are we the ones doing the experiment? Is it part of the experiment itself? Although the similarities discussed earlier, mysterious signal, there are also various experimental results. A lot of firewood to the cosmic consciousness hypothesis. It seems that the universe, a lot of things I can't figure out are strung together. But science is something. You can't just think big and move forward. He has to have the spirit of skepticism to the end. Dare to question the theories that sound the most exciting. So the universe is conscious. We have to listen to those voices. Think about it. And here's a very useful scientific principle. Occam's razor. Simply put, if unnecessary, business entity. It means, if you can explain it simply, don't argue. Theoretical physicist Dr. Sean Carroll. Take this razor and scrape the cosmic consciousness. He said cosmos looks like neural networks. That's interesting, but we have to ask, does it have to be explained by consciousness? Is that possible? It is because these two systems are designed efficient information transmission is optimized. It has nothing to do with consciousness itself. There are a lot of unconscious things in nature. Looks alike. Those are the laws of physics and the lowest energy made out consumption. Of principle. Neuroscientist Lisa, Dr. Feldman Barrett, also remind us. Let's connect ourselves. The consciousness in the brain has not been understood yet. I knew we had to have a particular chemical environment, neural structure, to put this thing, and that extends across the entire universe. That evidence has to be hard. And again, complexity is not the same as consciousness. Look at that hurricane. How complex, how much information. Who's to say he's conscious? The internet processes more information. There are more brains in all of humanity combined. Is he conscious? Theoretical physicist Sabine. Dr. Horsenfeld was even more outspoken. He said that we humans love to keep ourselves on natural phenomena. It's called anthropomorphism. It's an inertia in our psychology. We're hardwired to look for intent in places, purpose even if there is no such thing. Astronomer Carl Sagan famously said, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. It's perfect for this. Philosopher Dr. Daniel Dennett also said, scientists say okay, not to see if he is beautiful or not. It depends on whether he can be tested. And here's the classic question. It's similar to why the universe doesn't talk for a while. And that was Fermi being argued about. If the universe were full of intelligent life, why are they so quiet? Astrophysicist Dr. Milan Silkovic said, both questions are literally the same. We all hope to communicate, and there was silence. For this silence, that's a lot to explain. Maybe the operating scale of cosmic consciousness we don't understand at all. The cosmic education of Dr. Susan Child Schneider is a hypothesis. Or is there a big filter? It sifts out all kinds of consciousness. There is another possibility. The universe likes to stay at home for a while. It's introverted thinking. Don't care about us little ones. Dr. Rebecca Goldstein's point of view. Of course, the simplest explanation, like cosmologist Alex, Dr. Shanda Valenkin said, maybe the universe is not conscious at all, so he didn't say anything. But the proponents of cosmic consciousness also have something to say. Dr. Bernard Carr thought, the way cosmic consciousness talks to us, maybe not radio waves or something, but by physical constants, mathematical structure, or some kind of special way we have to go. Philosopher Alan Watts felt even more. We may press. The root is not an outsider in the universe. We are part of his thinking and exploration. This controversy, it also touches on the old problem of anthropocentrism. Patricia, Dr. Churchland warns, don't take us humans. A unique ideology is attached to the universe. Our consciousness is adapted to the Earth's environment. Evolved. The universe doesn't necessarily eat this set. Dr. Carlo Rovelli also reminds us, the universe doesn't care what our minds think. The rebuttable voice is also quite strong. Dr. Christopher Koch asked, why do you say that only humans can have consciousness? This is true anthropocentrism, right? Emerging consciousness research findings. There are creatures much simpler than humans, and exhibit something like awareness. This shows that consciousness may not be as simple as having it or not. He's more of a spectrum. Dr. Annelses breaks down the problem. The question is not whether the universe thinks like a human. Certainly not. It's about stripping consciousness to its most fundamental level. Could he be a more fundamental part of reality itself? Attribute. It's not that we force the universe to talk to people. What the hell? This debate reminds us that. Be careful. Don't force your ideas on the universe. Don't be too confident. Thought we figured out all about consciousness. The truth may lie in the middle. Consciousness may not be unique to humans. It's not everywhere. They happen under certain conditions. And these conditions, it may be completely different from the conditions of our brain. As the philosopher Thomas Nigor asked, what's it like to be a bat? This shows that consciousness, it may exist in ways we never imagined. So on the road to cosmic consciousness, we need to be a little skeptical. But the brain has to be alive. For possibilities that are beyond our current understanding, have to be careful. The answer? Maybe it's hidden under our pressure, in unexpected nooks and crannies. What's next? We have to look deeper. Look at our own consciousness. Look at him in this cosmic drama. What role is it singing? We talked about the structure of the universe, mysterious signal, quantum experiment. I also heard all kinds of skeptical voices. Now I have to pull the camera back. Aim for one we haven't thought about yet. But there may be a place where the key to the puzzle is hidden. That's our own consciousness. This is the only thing we can directly touch. Sample of sensory consciousness. So figure it out. To unravel the big pimple of cosmic consciousness, that's really important. Philosopher of science Rebecca, Dr. Goldstein said, consciousness is unlike any other natural phenomenon. We experienced him directly from the inside. That makes him special. This is both the difficulty of the research. We can't just drill into the consciousness of something else. It's an opportunity. Our first-hand experience is valuable information. Neuroscientist Dr. Annelses also emphasizes that our subjective experience, for example, the feeling of seeing red, the feeling of concentration when it hurts, these receptors, with the physical processes we can measure, they're not the same thing at all. But it's actually in our consciousness. The problem with consciousness is that, how can matter generate subjective feelings? It's still a big pimple in the scientific community. Many scholars feel that they cannot solve it. Consciousness may not be at all. It can't be explained entirely by physics. He may be more rooted in reality itself, a property of Ben. Do you think there is such a possibility? Consciousness, it's not made by our brains. It's that our brain acts like an antenna, receives some kind of more general presence. If so, that other complex system maybe receive consciousness. It's just the form they receive. It's completely different from us humans. Physicist Roger Penrose's theory of quantum consciousness. We believe that consciousness originates from our brain, emerging from quantum processes in cells. So, consciousness can directly follow. The quantum world at the bottom of reality is hooked. That's the foundation of everything in the universe, which brings up a really bold idea. Our human consciousness, maybe with that latent cosmic mind. Not at all. Like a wave in the ocean. It looks like itself. In fact, it is integrated with the entire ocean, proposed by physicist John Wheeler. Participatory human principle. It elevates the status of the observer. What he feels is not being seen. It's not something that's real. It's been shown in delayed selection experiments. Our observational behavior can determine the state of a quantum system. It may even affect the past. That's not to say it has to be our human consciousness. Any system that can record information is an observer. But it does suggest that observe the thing itself. On how reality works. Occupy this basic position. Bernard Despaignes. The reality under the veil also says, what we call objective reality, part of it is us and the universe, interactive creation. The universe is not a pile of dead things waiting for us to see. It's a dynamic process. We observers are also a part of it. This participatory view suddenly put the universe. Do you realize that this question has been subverted? We probably shouldn't ask that. It's time to ask, how is consciousness involved, creating the universe we experience? Astronomer Royal Sir Martin Rees. Just figure out, maybe the universe has to have a certain kind of observer to put his latent state. Make it happen. Just like quantum systems can only be determined by observation. If this is true, that consciousness, but it's not a byproduct of the physical process. It is the driving force that shapes physical reality. So, the universe doesn't think like a human. He is the embodiment of ideas. These ideas, with a lot of old philosophy. For example, the Van Western restoration of Hinduism. There are also some explanations of quantum mechanics. Many minds, for example, David Bohm's filmmaking, can match the number. Both point to consciousness and the material world, unified at a deeper level. Like Wolf just shot the traitor. Look at the information thing. He seems to be everywhere. Whether it's neural networks, cosmic structure, a quantum system, Dr. Giulio Tonini's integrative information theory says, consciousness is derived from the complexity of information out of the bit. The more complex the integration, the richer the conscious experience. And it's not just in the brain. So to speak, the universe may not be a single big brain, but by different scales. Consciousness at different levels of integration. It's a cosmic symphony. It's more of a spectrum of continuous change, not simply with or without. Theoretical biologist Stoltkov, Dr. Mon also thinks consciousness may be part of the fabric of reality, already potential, as long as matter is organized in a certain way. Whether it's in the head, or is it some other complex system, this potential can be activated. So, we don't live alone in a world. In the universe of feeling, we are participating in a slowly awakening universe. What about the ecology of consciousness? The philosopher Bernardo Kastrup even said that maybe the substance we're talking about. This is what consciousness looks like from the outside. What we call consciousness. That's how the substance feels inside. There are more questions than answers. But at least we know which direction to ask. Rather than arguing about the entire universe, can you think like a human? It's better to think about more detailed questions. Consciousness is different. How is it expressed on the scale? Observing on the stereotyping of reality. How much did it help? Our own awareness of this and the entire universe. Larger scale information integration models. What does it matter? These problems are related to physics, neuroscience. Philosophical confidence theory works together with these disciplines. To figure it out, there are already many. Interdisciplinary research is bearing fruit. From integrated information theory, quantum biology to consciousness research. They're all interesting AI, Dr. Millie Axelrod said. Our next step is to come up with a better mathematical model to describe how the information is different, integrated at scale. We need better tools to explore measuring potential conscious signals outside the brain. But here's the thing. We need to have the ability to treat consciousness as a fundamental feature of reality, a philosophical framework that is not optional. Of course, in addition to these scientific studies, those ancient meditation traditions, maybe it can also provide us with some on individual consciousness, direct experience in relation to cosmic consciousness, complement our scientific research. No matter where this road ends up, he made us rethink your place in the universe. We may not be travelers in an indifferent universe. They are participants in reality. This reality itself. We've made consciousness a fundamental dimension. As the physicist Erwin Schrödinger put it, the total number of minds is only one, maybe waiting for our best discovery, not on the other side of the star. It's in our understanding of awareness itself. You think about the universe. We actually evolved. Can think about its own existence. I wonder if there's a mind in the universe. That's amazing enough in itself. So, wondering, is the universe thinking? It's not just curiosity about the outside world. It is a question of the meaning of our own existence. This kind of questioning introduces us to the deepest mysteries of the universe. Tie a piece when we end this journey. On a voyage of exploration of the conscious universe, we stand on the threshold of a profound revelation. This revelation not only has it reshaped our understanding of the universe, it also changed our understanding of ourselves. The question of whether the universe thinks, which leads us to our most central mystery. Our own awareness, cosmic consciousness, maybe not completely separate from us. It's part of what we're actively involved in. Like every wave in the ocean, although the form is different, but all stem from and belong to that vast whole. Our curiosity and exploration of cosmic consciousness. It could be that the universe is taking care of itself, a way to reflect on its existence. From the magnificent structure of cosmic reticulate nerve cells to the subtle capabilities of quantum systems for information processing, there are many indications consciousness may not one in an otherwise mindless universe. A rare phenomenon that occurs by chance. It's a fundamental aspect of reality itself, at different scales and levels. Show yourself in various forms. Does consciousness originate from complexity? Or does complexity arise from consciousness? This remains a fundamental unresolved issue. However, whatever the answer is, both of these possibilities point to a much higher probability. Traditional science, it's more vivid. A universe full of inner meaning and potential purpose. The universe is not made of dead matter. It's fluid. It's a living message. And through continuous interaction of observation and participation, constantly create and reinvent yourself. We are the universe's way of knowing itself. This insight both humbles us. It empowers us to participate in the Hongwei mission of continuous awakening. We may not be the only center of time in the universe, but we have no doubt is an indispensable part of it. Human perception of the universe. Listen and understand. It is the universe through us. To recognize its own glory and grandeur. No matter the universe. So what kind of us? In a way that is not yet fully understood. Thinking as a unified whole. a distributed network of consciousness, or some form that goes beyond our current understanding? We're able to ask and explore the question itself. It has revealed the extraordinary nature of existence in a world with countless, in the vast universe of galaxies and stars, was born to meditate on its own origins, and a curious awareness of the cosmic mind itself. That alone, it's enough to be us to continue the endless power of exploration. Not only explore the vastness of the stars, we need to explore the depths of our inner awareness. Because at the end of the day, the outer universe and inner awareness, perhaps they are two sides of the same coin. It is the ultimate state that reflects all existence. The mysteries of the universe may never be explored. But your listening is my luck. Good night and sweet dreams.